Alright, for these problems, let's start with the first one. The perimeter of a rectangle is 36 inches and its length is 10 inches. What is the width? This one is easy one, so if you just like to visualize it, we have rectangle and what's given, the length is 10 and we're looking for the width, but we know the perimeter of rectangle equal 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So the perimeter already 36 equal 2 times the length, which is 10, plus 2w. And from this equation we can find w. You can simplify this equation if you divide both sides by 2, so you're going to get 18, right? Equal, if you divide 2 times 10 by 2, you're going to get just 10. Divide 2w by 2, you get w. Now you subtract 10 from both sides, you're going to get the width w equal to 18 minus 10, which is 8. So the answer is B. Okay, so you have to remember the formula for the perimeter of rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. For the second one, you can give it a try. The equation 2x plus 3y equal to 12 represent a line. What is the y-intercept of the line? You don't have to solve it for y and find the y-intercepts, which is b. You just, what is the y-intercept? When going to happen? When the line going to cut the y-axis? When x is 0. So if you substitute 0 for x, you have 2 times 0, which is 0, right? Plus 3 times 3y is equal to 12. So you have a 0 plus 3y, which is 3y equal to 12. You just divide both sides by 3, so y equal to 4. So the y-intercept, it should be equal 4, which is choice C, right? You can solve it for y, and if I solve it for y, I'm going to subtract. Here's another way to do it, but the first one is easier, faster. If I solve it for y, I have 3y equal to what? I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides to negative 2x plus 12. I'm going to divide both sides by 3, so y equal negative 2/3 x plus 12 over 3 is 4, and that's what I'm looking for, the y-intercept, which is b, right? This equation now, y equal mx plus b, so that is the y-intercept. For number 3, if 4x equals 7x minus 12, what is the value of x? Alright, it's an easy one. So what's your answer for number 3? The answer is, should be, let's find out how we find x. Let's isolate x on one side. If I have a 4x equal to 7x minus 12, I'm going to get rid of the 7x. I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. So if I subtract 7x from the 4x, I get negative 3x. And now I have a negative 12 because I subtract 7x from both sides. Get rid of negative 3. Let's divide both sides by negative 3. So what is negative 12 over negative 3? That's a positive, right? Negative over negative, that will be positive 4. So for number 3, the answer is B. Number 5, let's see what we have for number 4, I mean. Right triangle has one leg of length 9 inches. The hypotenuse is 3 inches longer than the other leg. So if you just visualize it, we have right triangle here, and they said, the problem said one leg is 9 inch, so consider this is a 9, and the hypotenuse is 3 inches longer than the other leg, which is this one. What is the length of the hypotenuse? So I'm looking for the hypotenuse. So let's put the hypotenuse is C. So what is the other leg? It should be what? C minus 3. Is that correct? Let's read it again. The hypotenuse is 3 inches longer than the other leg. So if the other leg C minus 3, the hypotenuse will be C minus 3 plus 3, which is C, right? This way it will be easier. So your answer is just C. I'm not going to add or subtract anything. That's what I'm going to get. So how can I get the hypotenuse? Let's use Pythagorean theorem. I have a C square equal 9 squared plus C minus 3 squared. So if I simplify that, I get 81 plus, let's square the binomial, so it will be C squared, right? Squaring binomial, first square, double first times the second with this sign, which is a negative, so it's negative 6 C. And you square the negative 3. You square the negative 3, that will be positive 9. So if I subtract, if I cancel, subtract C squared from both sides, this is going to cancel, right? That's going to cancel. So the C squared going to cancel with this square. And now let's simplify more. So I have 0 equal 81 plus 9 is 90 minus 6C. So now you can isolate the C. You have a 6C equal 90, or negative 90 equal negative 6C. And let's divide both sides by negative 6. So C, it will be equal to negative 90 over negative 6, which should be positive, and that's going to give us 15. So the hypotenuse is 15, which is choice C. For the next one, number 5. A car travels 180 miles in 3 hours. What is the average speed in miles per hour? Okay. So the average speed R equal distance over time. So the average speed equal what? 180 over 3, and that's going to give you 60 mile per hour, and that is choice C. For number 6, if 2 multiplied by this quantity x minus 4 equal to 10, what is the value of x? Alright, that one is easy. You can use the Triptych property and isolate x. That's one way to do it, or easier than that, if I see here 2 and see 10, I can divide both sides by 2. So if I have a 2 times x minus 4 equal to 10, by dividing both sides by 2, I cancel the 2. Right? Divide that side by 2, divide that side by 2, the 2 cancels, and I just get x minus 4 equal to 5. If I add 4 to both sides, I get x by itself equal to 9, and that choice C. And that's it for this one.